All right, let's ditch the winter coats and grab our beach towels because today we're diving deep into Rio de Janeiro.
A city that truly has it all, from those legendary beaches to the lush rainforests. And don't forget the vibrant culture and music.
If you've ever dreamed of experiencing a city that pulsates with energy, well, this deep dive is for you. We'll uncover the must-see spots and those hidden gems that make Rio so special.
Consider us your personal Rio tour guides, ready to help you experience Rio like a pro.
Let's start with figuring out the best time to experience this magic. December to March is classic summer in Rio, right? Picture yourself on Copacabana Beach, the sun warming your skin, the waves crashing, and the city buzzing around you.
Absolutely. It's peak season for a reason. Perfect weather for those iconic beaches and all the outdoor activities Rio offers.
But you're right, it probably comes with more crowds. If you're someone who prefers a bit more of a relaxed vibe, maybe the shoulder seasons like April to May or September to November would be a better fit.
The weather is still amazing during those months, and you might even find better deals on flights and accommodations. But there's also that secret season when the crowds are thinner and the city has a different kind of charm.
The low season, June to August.
Exactly. Now, don't let the name fool you. Even though it might be a little cooler, you'll practically have those famous beaches all to yourself.
And maybe experience a different side of Rio, something a little more authentic.
Precisely. And for those traveling on a budget, it's a real sweet spot.
So we've got our timing down. Now let's talk neighborhoods. Rio is a city of distinct personalities, with each neighborhood offering a different flavor.
Absolutely. And each one has something special to offer.
We have to start with Copacabana. It's legendary for a reason. It's the heart and soul of Rio's beach culture, where the energy is almost tangible.
Close your eyes and picture this. You can feel the sand between your toes, smell the salty air, hear the laughter of children playing in the waves.
And those vendors, strolling along the beach, offering everything from fresh coconuts to colorful sarongs.
And don't forget that iconic black and white wave pattern sidewalk. It's like a symbol of Rio itself.
Copacabana is the place to see and be seen, to soak up that classic Rio vibe.
And just a short distance away, you'll find Ipanema, Copacabana's chic cousin, if you will.
Ipanema still has that gorgeous stretch of beach, but with a more laid-back, almost European feel.
Ipanema is about enjoying the beach in style with trendy boutiques, those chic cafes, and a mix of locals and tourists all enjoying the relaxed atmosphere.
It's the perfect place to unwind, maybe sip a caipirinha as the sun sets over the ocean.
And speaking of enjoying the finer things in life, we can't forget about Leblon, Rio's most affluent neighborhood.
Leblon is where you'll find luxurious apartments with ocean views, designer boutiques, and gourmet restaurants.
It's a playground for the senses, where you can indulge in a little luxury.
But if you're looking for something a little off the beaten path, Santa Teresa's calling your name.
Ah, Santa Teresa, a true gem. It's nestled on a hilltop overlooking the city, a world away from the beaches and the hustle and bustle.
It's a haven for artists, and those seeking something a little different. Winding cobblestone streets, colorful colonial mansions, and the air is thick with the scent of bougainvillea.
Spend hours wandering through its labyrinthine streets, discover hidden art galleries and charming cafes.
And as the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the city, there's one neighborhood that comes alive with a unique energy: Lapa.
Lapa is where Rio's nightlife truly reigns. Music spills out from every bar and club, the streets become a dance floor, and the party doesn't stop until sunrise.
You can dance the night away under the watchful eye of the Arraial de Lapa, that magnificent 18th century aqueduct.
It's an experience you won't forget, but it's important to remember that Lapa can be a little overwhelming, especially at night. Always be aware of your surroundings, stick to well-lit areas, and, if possible, travel in groups.
Safety first, always. Now that we've given you a taste of Rio's diverse neighborhoods, let's talk about those landmarks that grace every postcard.
The Christ the Redeemer, Sugarloaf Mountain, sights that define Rio's skyline, and views that will leave you breathless.
First stop, the symbol of Rio de Janeiro, Christ the Redeemer.
Standing atop Copacabana Mountain, arms outstretched, embracing the entire city, Christ the Redeemer is more than just a statue. It's an architectural marvel and a symbol of hope.
I've heard stories of people moved to tears when they finally stand before it.
It's not just the statue itself, it's a journey to reach it, whether by train through the rainforest or by van.
And then as you reach the summit and step onto that viewing platform, the entire city unfolds before you.
The beaches, the mountains, the favelas, all laid out in all their glory. a view that will stay with you long after you've left Rio.
And for another perspective on Rio's beauty, we're headed to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain, soaring high above the city in a cable car.
An experience that combines history, adventure, and those incredible views.
Gliding over lush hillsides, catching glimpses of hidden beaches and the sparkling waters of Guanabara Bay.
It's like the city is revealing its secrets, one breathtaking vista at a time.
And then, you reach the summit. Those 360-degree views are simply astounding. Everything from Christ the Redeemer in the distance to the beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema, all framed by those dramatic mountain peaks.
And you know, many people don't realize that Sugarloaf Mountain actually gets its name from its resemblance to those traditional cone-shaped loaves of sugar that were common back in the 16th century.
Now, let's escape the city for a bit and venture into Tijuca National Park. It's hard to believe that a rainforest teeming with life exists right in the heart of Rio.
A true oasis. You can breathe in the fresh air, listen to the birds, and just lose yourself in the beauty of nature.
Hiking trails lead to hidden waterfalls, exotic plants, and animals. It's an urban paradise.
And for the adventurers, Tijuca National Park has some challenging trails that reward you with amazing panoramic views.
And speaking of hidden gems, we can't forget the Escadaria Selarón, those vibrant, mosaic-covered steps that connect Lampa and Santa Teresa.
More than just a staircase. Each colorful tile tells a story, carefully placed by the artist Jorge Selarón.
It's a kaleidoscope of colors, textures, a testament to Celarón's love for Rio. Tiles from all over the world.
A must-visit for anyone who appreciates art and creativity.
So we've covered landmarks, but what about those unforgettable Rio experiences? The ones that go beyond the tourist trail and truly immerse you in the city's soul.
We're talking about embracing the rhythm of Rio, feeling its pulse, and connecting with its people and culture on a deeper level.
Let's do it.
First, the beach culture. It's not just about lying on the sand, it's a way of life in Rio.
The beaches are like social hubs. People gather to play sports, enjoy music, sip refreshing drinks, and soak up the sun. It's a vibrant tapestry of life, all unfolding right there on the sand.
And each beach has its own personality. Copacabana is all about that energy and excitement. Ipanema has a more laid-back, chic vibe. And then there's Leblon, where the atmosphere is sophisticated and relaxed.
But if you want a more adventurous beach experience, one that gets your heart pumping, then it's time to explore those Tijuca National Park trails.
Imagine hiking through lush rainforest. The air is thick with the scent of the earth and exotic flowers. You can hear waterfalls cascading down rocky cliffs and monkeys chattering in the trees.
There are trails for everyone, from leisurely strolls to challenging climbs that reward you with those panoramic views. And for those seeking a true adventure, the hike to the top of Pedra de Gavia is a must.
It's a challenging climb, but the sense of accomplishment when you reach the top and those breathtaking views make it all worthwhile.
And speaking of feeling on top of the world, we can't forget Carnival, the ultimate celebration of life that takes over Rio every year.
If you're lucky enough to be in Rio during Carnival, get ready for an experience that will stay with you forever.
Imagine the streets transformed into a sea of colorful costumes, the samba music pulsing through the air, and people dancing with pure joy.
It's a celebration that goes beyond language and culture, a collective expression of joy and freedom that will sweep you off your feet.
You have to experience the blocos, those spontaneous street parties that erupt all over the city. Each one has its own unique theme and energy.
It's a chance to immerse yourself in the heart of Rio's culture.
And when the sun sets on Rio, the party doesn't stop. Remember Lapa? Well, after dark, it becomes a nocturnal playground where the music never stops and the night is full of possibilities.
Lapa after dark is an experience you won't soon forget. Samba music, people spilling out of bars and clubs. The energy is electric.
But remember, stay aware of your surroundings, stick with your group, and be careful with your belongings.
Exactly. Safety first.
All this exploring is bound to work up an appetite, and Rio is a culinary paradise, a mix of flavors that will make your taste buds sing.
Brazilian cuisine is a blend of indigenous, African, and European influences, as vibrant and exciting as the city itself.
So get ready for a culinary adventure that will take you from the streets of Copacabana to the charming cafes of Santa Teresa and beyond.
We're going to take you on a culinary journey. Are you ready?
Bring on the feast. What are we starting with?
We have to start with feijoada, that hearty black bean stew that's considered Brazil's national dish.
It's a dish to be savored, simmered for hours, allowing all those flavors to blend together.
Imagine tender cuts of pork and beef, black beans, onions, garlic, and a mix of spices. It's a rich, flavorful stew that's often served with rice, farofa, and orange slices.
As comforting as it is delicious.
Yeah.
Perfect for a hearty meal after a day of exploring Rio.
And speaking of hearty meals, we're taking you to a traditional churrascaria, a Brazilian steakhouse.
Get ready for an experience that's as much about the show as it is about the food.
Imagine the aroma of grilled meat, the sound of sizzling steaks, and waiters carving those succulent cuts of meat right at your table.
It's an all-you-can-eat feast of grilled meats. Juicy picanha, sausages, ribs, chicken, all cooked over open flames.
You'll be ready for a nap after this.
But before we drift off into a food coma, we need to talk about acai, that superfood berry from the Amazon rainforest.
And in Rio, acai is more than just a healthy snack, it's a way of life.
You'll find it everywhere. It's the perfect way to cool down after a day in the sun.
Imagine a thick, creamy smoothie bursting with the flavor of those acai berries, often blended with banana and guarana for an energy boost.
It's often served in a bowl, topped with granola, fresh fruit, and honey. A delicious and healthy treat.
And of course, you can't go to Rio without sipping on a caipirinha, Brazil's national cocktail.
It's the perfect blend of sweet, sour, and strong. So refreshing, it captures the spirit of Rio.
Made with cachaça, lime, and sugar. Dangerously easy to drink.
Caipirinhas can sneak up on you. Pace yourself and enjoy those flavors responsibly.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot in this first part of our Rio deep dive.
We've talked about the best time to visit, explored the city's unique neighborhoods, marveled at those iconic landmarks, and even tantalized your taste buds with its culinary delights. Welcome back to our Rio deep dive, ready to uncover some of those hidden gems that make this city truly special.
You know, in part one, we covered those iconic spots like Christ the Redeemer and Sugarloaf Mountain, but I'm ready to dig a little deeper.
Rio is a city that rewards those who wander off the beaten path, those who are open to experiencing its authentic soul.
So, where are we headed first on our journey to uncover those hidden treasures?
Let's go back to Santa Teresa for a moment. Remember those charming, winding streets?
How could I forget? It's like stepping into a different world, away from the bustling beaches.
Imagine strolling through those streets, the air filled with the scent of bougainvillea. You might stumble upon a tiny art gallery tucked away in a corner.
Or a charming cafe where you can sip strong Brazilian coffee and just soak up the atmosphere.
And don't forget to hop on that historic yellow tram, the Bond.
That rickety, charming tram. It's a unique way to experience Santa Teresa, a journey back in time.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's deeply ingrained in Brazilian culture. Football. Or, as they say here, football.
Ah, yes, football. It's more than just a sport in Brazil. It's a way of life, a unifying force.
And to truly understand Brazilian football, you have to visit the legendary Maracana Stadium.
It's a temple of football, a place where legends are made. Can you imagine standing in those stands, surrounded by tens of thousands of passionate fans, the roar of the crowd?
Even if you're not a diehard football fan, the atmosphere at a Maracana match is electrifying.
So, we've wandered through Santa Teresa and experienced the thrill of football. Where to next?
If you want to delve into Rio's vibrant music scene, let's go back to Lapa. But this time, on a Friday night.
Lapa on a Friday night.
Yeah.
That sounds like an adventure.
The energy is contagious. The streets come alive with music. You can wander from one venue to the next, sampling different genres, from traditional samba to forró.
Letting the music guide our steps and lead us to those hidden musical treasures.
Now, let's escape the urban jungle for a bit and seek out some of Rio's hidden beaches.
Hidden beaches. I'm all ears.
Rio's coastline has so many stunning beaches. While Copacabana and Ipanema are iconic, there are other gems waiting to be discovered.
Places where you can escape the crowds and find your own little slice of paradise.
One of my favorites is Prinha, a secluded beach nestled between towering cliffs and lush rainforest.
You're painting a beautiful picture. What's it like?
Pristine golden sand, crystal clear waters, and the sound of waves crashing against the shore.
Sounds incredibly peaceful.
It's a haven for surfers and nature lovers. You can relax on the sand, swim, or simply soak up the beauty of your surroundings.
I heard there are hiking trails that lead to the top of the cliffs, offering amazing views.
The views from up there are breathtaking, especially at sunset.
So we've experienced the vibrancy of Lapa and the tranquility of Prinha. What other hidden treasures await?
Rio has a thriving cultural scene, with museums, theaters, and art galleries that will captivate you.
The city pulsating with creative energy. Tell me more.
The Museu da Amanhã, or the Museum of Tomorrow, is a must-visit. It's a futuristic space that explores the relationship between humanity and the environment.
It's not your typical museum.
Not at all. It's designed to make you think about the future of our planet.
And for art lovers, there's the Musée d'Art Moderna, the Museum of Modern Art.
A treasure trove of modern and contemporary art from Brazil and around the world.
A chance to immerse yourself in the world of art, to see different perspectives, and to be inspired.
And for a truly unique cultural experience, why not catch a performance at the Teatro Municipal Rio's Grand Opera House?
The Teatro Municipal is an architectural masterpiece, a step back in time to a bygone era of elegance.
Imagine sitting in those plush velvet seats, the orchestra tuning their instruments, the anticipation building as the curtain rises.
I can already feel the magic of the theater.
We've talked about Rio's nightlife, beaches, and culture, but I can't resist revisiting the topic of food.
My taste buds are always ready for a culinary adventure.
Rica is known for its relaxed atmosphere, stunning views of Sugarloaf Mountain, and, of course, its seafood restaurants.
Imagine sitting at a table overlooking the water, the sun setting in the distance, as you savor a plate of freshly grilled fish.
Or a rich, flavorful seafood stew. And if you want to try a local specialty, order the casquina de siri. It's a baked crab dip that's absolutely delicious.
Now, for a quick and tasty snack that you'll find everywhere in Rio, you have to try pastels.
Those deep-fried pastries filled with all sorts of savory or sweet fillings.
You can find pastels filled with cheese, ground meat, hearts of palm, shrimp. So many options.
And to experience a different side of Rio's culinary heritage, let's head to the neighborhood of Madureira.
Madureira is the heart of Rio's Afro-Brazilian culture, a place with a unique culinary tradition.
You can explore the bustling street markets where the air is filled with the aromas of traditional Afro-Brazilian dishes.
Like acarajé, those black-eyed pea fritters, and vatapá and caruru.
A true taste of Rio's diverse culinary heritage.
Before we wrap up our exploration of these hidden gems, we should talk about safety.
You're right. While Rio is a city that welcomes visitors with open arms, it's important to be aware of your surroundings.
So what are some practical tips for staying safe while enjoying all that Rio has to offer?
It's always wise to avoid walking alone at night, especially in deserted areas.
And be mindful of your belongings in crowded places.
It's also a good idea to use reliable transportation, like taxis or ride-sharing services, particularly at night.
And if you're ever unsure about anything, don't hesitate to ask a local or a trusted guide.
Exactly. A little common sense goes a long way.
So there you have it. We've delved into some of Rio's hidden treasures.
From the charming streets of Santa Teresa to the secluded beaches and the vibrant cultural scene.
And of course, we couldn't resist tempting your taste buds with some more of Rio's culinary delights. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've reached the final part of our Rio adventure.
We've explored those iconic landmarks, those hidden gems. We've talked about the food, the music, the culture. Now it's time to put it all together.
Create the perfect 10-day itinerary for your dream trip to Rio. Ready?
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. Getting to Rio, you'll probably fly into one of two main airports, Galeon International Airport or GIG.
That's the larger international airport.
Or Santos Dumont Airport, SDU.
Which mainly handles domestic flights.
Right. Galeon is further from the city center, but it's well connected.
And Santos Dumont is closer if you happen to be flying in from somewhere else in Brazil.
Exactly. Now, where to stay? Rio has so many options for every budget and style. If you want to wake up to the sound of the ocean, Copacabana and Ipanema are perfect.
Step right out of your hotel and onto those iconic beaches.
Everything you need is right there. Restaurants, shops, bars.
For a more luxurious feel, maybe Leblon.
Leblon is all about those rooftop pools, designer boutiques, and gourmet dining.
And for those who want something with a bit more history and charm, there's Santa Teresa.
With those beautiful colonial mansions and charming guest houses.
So we've got arrival, transportation, accommodation sorted. Now let's dive into that 10-day itinerary.
All right, day one. Let's kick things off with a trip to Copacabana Beach. That first glimpse of Rio's beauty. Feel the energy of the city.
And in the evening, experience a real Rio tradition. Dinner at a churrascaria.
An all-you-can-eat feast of grilled meats. You won't leave hungry.
Day two. It's time to conquer those must-see landmarks. Christ the Redeemer and Sugarloaf Mountain.
We'll start with Christ the Redeemer, standing atop Corcovado Mountain.
The journey to the top is an experience in itself, whether you choose the train or the van. Lush rainforests, amazing views.
And then you reach the summit, and there it is, that breathtaking statue.
And the panoramic views are just incredible. The whole city spread out before you.
It's a view that will stay with you forever.
After Christ the Redeemer, we'll head to Sugarloaf Mountain,
Soar above the city in a cable car.
gliding over those hillsides, those hidden beaches.
And the views from the summit of Sugarloaf, well, they're equally mesmerizing.
Day 3, let's slow things down a bit. We're headed to Santa Teresa.
Hop on the yellow tram and explore those winding streets.
Discover those hidden art galleries and those charming cafes.
And in the evening, experience the soul of Brazilian music.
A live samba show. Feel the rhythm and the energy of this iconic dance.
Day 4, it's time to escape the city and head to Tijuca National Park.
Explore the rainforest trails. Find those hidden waterfalls. Enjoy the peace and quiet.
Trails for every fitness level. And if you're up for a challenge, hike to the top of Pedra da Gávea.
Amazing views.
And tonight, we're back to Lapa.
But this time, to experience its nightlife.
Live music spilling out from every bar and club. Dance the night away.
Just remember to be safe, especially at night. Stick to well-lit areas, stick together.
Day 5. We're off to those hidden beaches we talked about.
Praina, here we come.
Relax on the pristine sand, swim in those crystal clear waters.
Maybe even try some surfing.
And in the evening, a delicious seafood dinner in Urca.
Fresh catch of the day. Enjoying those stunning views of Sugarloaf Mountain.
Day 6. Time for some culture. We're starting with the Museum of Tomorrow.
A museum that challenges you to think about the future.
Interactive exhibits. A really unique experience.
Then we'll head over to the Museum of Modern Art.
Immerse yourself in the world of art, both Brazilian and international.
And for a truly special evening, a performance at the Teatro Municipal.
Rio's grand opera house.
Opera, ballet, classical music, an unforgettable experience.
Day 7. We're exploring Rio's history today.
The Central District, with its colonial streets and architectural gems.
Visit the Metropolitan Cathedral, a modern marvel with stunning stained glass.
And the National Museum, for a glimpse into Brazil's rich past.
And to end the day, a relaxing sunset cruise on Guanabara Bay.
See the city's skyline as the sun sets, casting a golden glow on those iconic landmarks.
Day 8, we're experiencing the energy of Ipanema.
Those trendy boutiques, the lively atmosphere.
Maybe pick up some souvenirs or enjoy a leisure lunch.
And in the evening, live music. Samba, bossa nova, take your pick.
Day 9, we're heading to Madureira.
Immerse yourself in Rio's Afro-Brazilian culture.
Explore the bustling street markets, try the local delicacies.
Acarajé, vatapá, a true taste of Madureira.
And for your last night in Rio, a farewell dinner at one of the city's amazing restaurants.
So many choices. Seafood, Brazilian barbecue, international cuisine.
Day 10, it's time to say goodbye to Rio.
But you'll leave with incredible memories and a desire to return someday.
Now, this is just a suggestion, of course. You can customize it however you like.
And here are a few extra tips to make your trip even better.
Learning a few basic Portuguese phrases will help you connect with the locals.
Pack light clothing, sunscreen, a hat. Rio can be hot and humid.
Use reliable transportation like taxis or ride-sharing services.
And most importantly, relax, embrace the culture, and enjoy every moment.
Rio is a city that will capture your heart.
So there you have it, our deep dive into Rio de Janeiro. A city of contrasts, a blend of natural beauty, vibrant culture, and unforgettable experiences. We hope you're feeling inspired to explore this magical city for yourself.
Until next time, happy travels.